Thank you, Shelley, and hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We are so happy you could all make it out tonight. Yeah, I know it's a little late. I'm Jessica Boyd, the team leader for marketing and communications. I have a background in teaching and I'm passionate about cultural exchange and global education. Near the end of today's presentation, we'll also hear from Emmanuel, one of our fantastic EPI program members from Colombia, who will share his experience teaching in the USA. So let's kick off by talking about what EPI is. So EPI is officially a cultural exchange program designated by the U.S. Department of State. We currently sponsor teachers in Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, and we are a program that consists of thousands of teachers in over 450 schools. Our goal is to strengthen K-12 education by discovering and empowering the world's best international teachers in order to facilitate authentic cultural exchange. The results include teachers and students that become lifelong learners, embrace 21st century skills, and serve as change agents in an interconnected world of understanding. So why should you choose EPI as your sponsor? We pride ourselves in providing both benefits and assistance to all teachers in our program. So let's start by talking about the benefits. EPI has no application or placement fee. We offer a competitive salary that is comparable with the salary of any teacher with a similar background and experience also teaching in the United States. We give all teachers participating in our program a $3,000 no interest loan and a US cell phone. And we also offer every program member 24/7 on-demand cultural, instructional, and wellness support for any challenge that they might face while in the United States. Participating in our program also provides a lot of benefits for people in your home country and the United States as part of our partnership. As a program, we help schools in both countries prepare their students for a global economy. You'll get the opportunity to promote your country's ideas, values, and traditions while in the United States. And you'll also be able to connect teachers in your home country with incredible teachers around the world as you introduce them to your American and EPI colleagues. As an example of everything this partnership can accomplish, we do have a video today of Milton, one of our former teachers from Bolivia, discussing his experience teaching in the USA. So here is his story.
My name is Milton. My students call me Mr. V, and I teach Spanish in a high school in North Carolina. I am originally from Bolivia, South America. I have always been active in education, and to me, the most rewarding part of being a language teacher is precisely listening to my students communicate in the target language. Something we do every day, like ordering food in a restaurant, saying hello, for example, sounds so natural. And that's what makes language, alive and meaningful to them. Global Schools is an initiative involved with a network of schools all over the world that collaborate, that implement plans to use our resources in a better way in order to guarantee a better future for next generations. Global Schools has power to connect schools across the globe, and I'm planning to start the Global Schools in Bolivia. I had the opportunity to talk at the International Conference of Sustainable Development in New York. My presentation was achieving the goals one student at a time. And it is precisely that. When we teach, we offer this incredible chance for the kid to listen about the global goals in each and every subject they take. This world is their world, actually. They are just waiting for their turn to take over, and that means, the sooner they act, the better. Since I was a child, NASA has always been in my heart. All of a sudden, I got this invitation to participate in a little program they have, Observe the Moon Night. And what they wanted was somebody to tell cultural stories about the moon. I gave them 3 stories to choose from, so they show them to the rest of the world. I applied to judge contests. I participated even by naming the last rover that went to Mars, Perseverance. Electing that name, I was as happy as the contestant. The first year was probably the most challenging. You have to make friends as fast as you can, because that's the period where you really have to adapt to the new things. Principals and vice principals, my mentor, the resources manager, are always there to help you. So building that network, I would say, is one of the key things to do. I would definitely consider EPI for another round. I am very grateful and thankful for EPI support. We know that they are there, and that's a very reassuring feeling. I would like everybody to consider seriously joining EPI, because it opened doors to all these new experiences to me that are really rewarding.
In addition to benefits, we also have assistance for all of our place teachers. We provide relocation and housing resources. We give flight reimbursement up to $750 for all of our teachers traveling to the United States. And once you arrive, we will help you set up a US bank account so that you have everything you need to thrive in the United States. So now we're going to take some time to break down all of our processes for becoming an EPI teacher, and that is starting with the admissions process. So some of our eligibility requirements that you are currently teaching, you have the equivalent of a US bachelor's degree, you have advanced English skills, and you have 2 years of full-time teaching experience. We also ask that you have a valid passport, professional profile picture, and proof of employment letter from your current school. Communication is one of the key parts of moving through the admissions process quickly. If you're waiting to upload documents, please let us know so that we can help guide you to other areas of your application that you can work on. If you have specific preferences for placement, please also let us know those so that we can make those notes and recommendations early on in the process, making it more likely for us to be able to meet those requests. In terms of collecting documents, we recommend that you start that process now. Many of these documents take a lot of time to obtain. For example, we require official copies of your diplomas and transcripts, criminal record checks, and proof of employment letters from your previous schools. Other items we also ask for include all pages of your current passport and expired passports, references from supervisors and coworkers, home tie documentation, bank statements, and a credential evaluation. You will also need to complete 2 video call interviews with EPI team members. The first of these video calls is the pre-screen consultation. This is a 10 to 15-minute conversation where we determine your J-1 visa eligibility, your placement recommendations, and your legal eligibility. Once you have passed the pre-screen consultation, you will be invited to a more in-depth teacher qualification interview. This is a 20-minute interview that goes over topics such as classroom management, parent and student interactions, subject knowledge, and many more teaching topics. At the end of the interview, You will also have a 5-minute recording session for your video resume. Your video resume is a brief clip about you that will be used as your first impression with U.S. principals looking to interview EPI teachers. This is a very important video as it can lead to interviews with schools, so we ask that you come well prepared for that recording. You will then have 5 minutes to ask any questions that you might have for EPI team members. We do recommend that you always come prepared with questions for interviews. That includes your principal interviews later on, as it demonstrates that you're engaged in the process and excited for the opportunity. Once you have passed all interviews and provided all the documentation listed, you will be moved to the approved stage. The approved stage is where you become eligible for principal interviews and begin the placement process. So at this point, we're going to take an in-depth look at the placement season. Through the end of the summer, EPI will be connecting our approved teacher candidates with our partner schools here in the USA. This is a busy time here at EPI, so we encourage you to work through your application as quickly as possible so that we can help connect you with our schools. This graphic that looks a little intense is the timeline for the placement season. EPI starts by recommending our candidates to schools that we think will be a good fit. Our team helps you create a video resume that schools can look at to learn more about you and your teaching style. When a school is interested in meeting you, we arrange an interview and provide you with information about the position and the school. Our team will help you prepare for your interview, providing you with tips on how to make a great first impression. After your interview, the school will let our team know if they are interested in proceeding, and the placement team will contact you directly about the outcome. Finally, when you are offered a position at a school, they will deliver an offer letter to your email that will outline the contract and your offered salary. The process has a lot of stages, but the EPI team is here to help you every step of the way. We discussed this earlier for people who may have just gotten here. We do currently place teachers in 5 states on the East Coast. Again, that is West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. We are always accepting applications for teachers in all subjects, but some subjects have more openings than others. This is a list of the subjects that our partner schools are always looking for teachers in. Those subjects include mathematics, elementary education, special education, science, English, language arts, world languages, music, and art. However, if you do not teach in these subjects, please know that there are still openings available for you. I also wanted to take a moment to share with you some of the success stories we've had from our teachers. Yemi, a high school information technology teacher from Nicaragua, was named last year's Teacher of the Year at her school. This was the second year she's actually received the honor since coming to the United States with EPI. And while being recognized once for Teacher of the Year is impressive, earning this honor twice is truly remarkable, and we are just so proud of what she's been able to accomplish. We are also proud to recognize Yvonne, an incredible Spanish teacher from Colombia, who was named Secondary Teacher of the Year at her school for this year. Her passion, commitment, and hard work are an inspiration to all her students and colleagues. When teachers like Yemi and Yvonne are honored by their school, it reflects not only their dedication to their students, but also the positive impact of cultural education in the classroom. Okay, thanks everyone for hanging in there with me. This is going to be our final section of the presentation, and this is going to be on the onboarding process and some information about the support EPI provides once you get in the United States. Before your arrival in the US, we will connect you with an onboarding representative. They will be your main point of contact both while you are preparing for your trip here as well as during your travel. You will have the opportunity to meet with them over video for help with housing and other community resources that are available to you. They will also be communicating with you frequently over the phone and email so that you are always in contact with our team. We have a special EPI forum as well, and this is a place where current program members can share tips for things such as housing and purchasing a vehicle. This is where teachers can post that they are looking for a roommate or can offer to sell their items before returning to their home country. One of the best parts about EPI's onboarding process is our local liaisons. These are current EPI teachers who are placed in or near your school district. We will connect you with one of these amazing teachers, and they will be your mentor and a resource for you while you get settled in the US. Our local liaisons are the heart of our teaching community, and they go above and beyond to help our first year teachers. Another pre-arrival resource I wanted to discuss is the Community Onboarding Resource for Educators Forum, also known as the CORE. This is something that your onboarding representative will help you become familiar with, and it is going to be a place where you can find lots of resources and recommendations for affordable housing and transportation. Our support team works hard to keep the core full of the most up-to-date and useful information. This is also where you will find a lot of information about your school district and the surrounding community. Okay, so one of the most exciting moments of your start with EPI is when you first arrive and you start your orientation. The moment that you arrive, you will take airport transportation to the hotel where EPI has set up for your in-person orientation. Orientation is full of important information, and we will walk you through more of EPI's program rules and regulations, the expectations after you leave orientation, and provide training on teacher wellness and professionalism. Orientation is a lot of fun, and you will be able to have a chance to meet so many colleagues from around the world. We will also, before you arrive, provide you with an online orientation course that you will complete before you arrive in the US. We have many resources to help you feel prepared when you arrive at your school. So, to show you how great of an event orientation can be, I did want to share a video that we have of highlights from this year's orientation. So, these are all of our brand new teachers getting settled in the United States. We really had a great orientation season this year. A lot of that footage is from something we do called the celebration dinner, where everyone wears clothes traditional to their home country and they teach each other dances and we do cultural trivia. It's just a lot of fun. Okay, so the final step is post-arrival. This is everything that comes after you attend the in-person orientation with our team. You will arrive in your community and work through the 30-day post-arrival plan that is provided to you by your onboarding representative. This representative will help you through a checklist to make sure that all of your documents have been completed and submitted correctly. They will also answer any other questions you may have as you get settled in. So even after you settle in, we do still have lots of different types of support and ongoing professional development throughout your time here. The three main types of support are cultural, instructional, and personal. Your cultural support, we have resources available that can help you navigate culture shock and provide check-ins with our trained support staff. For instructional support, we offer one-on-one coaching by our support team, many of whom are former teachers themselves. Finally, personal support helps with self-care and wellness strategies. We know that navigating a new job in a new country can be daunting, which is why we are dedicated to providing help whenever you need it. Our staff can also provide you with professional development training to help you grow as an educator during your time here. So let's take a quick look at what those professional development resources look like. EPI has our very own series of teacher education books called the Launch Your Classroom Book Series. By the same name, we also have online courses with many YouTube videos that provide instruction on classroom management, student engagement, building rapport, lesson planning, active learning, and many more teaching subjects. Our support staff uses the Launch Your Classroom series when providing one-on-one coaching, and these resources are also available for free for all of our program members at any time that they need them.
I'll go ahead and introduce Emmanuel. Um, he's graciously shared with us a presentation that he has created for all of our EPI applicants. He is a current EPI Spanish teacher from Colombia who will talk about our program and provide some tips for beginning your international teaching journey. He is well known in our community as a teacher who is always ready to help his international colleagues, even spending time as an outreach volunteer for EPI. He has truly excelled during his time in our program, and we are so lucky to have him. So please join me in welcoming Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Sepúlveda. I was invited by EPI to tell you about my experience here working with EPI. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. It's going to be a very short presentation. And if you have questions for me at the end, I'm more than glad to. I'm very happy to help you out with those questions. So I'm gonna tell you who I am first. So my name, as I said, is Emmanuel Sepúlveda. I'm 30 years old and I am from Colombia. I lived in a small town in Colombia called Tunja. Over there, I studied modern languages, which is English and Spanish teaching. And before coming here to the US, I used to teach in eighth grade and to 11, all the way to 11th grade. It was a private institution, and I worked 3 years over there before applying to EPI. Right now, this is gonna be my fourth year teaching here in the United States. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina, and as they said before, I am currently teaching elementary school. That means from kindergarten to fifth grade. And my subject is a Spanish specialist. That means that I am not one of the core subjects, but I'm more like a extracurricular class for the kids. So in the presentation that I created for you all was divided in three parts. This is the first part, my experience with the program. The first item that I want to talk about was my first approach to the American culture. When I was on my undergraduate program back in Colombia, I used to have the opportunity to come here to the States for 1 year with my university. I used to live in Minnesota, and I was working as a um, assistant teacher assistant a in immersion school over there. So that's when I fell in love with the American system, with the American education. When I went back to Colombia and I finished my undergraduate program, I wanted to go back or come back here to the US. I wanted to be now the teacher. I wanted to be in charge of a classroom, and I want to have the full experience of teaching any subject. I was open to any subject over here to be able to teach. So one of my close friends, he applied to EPI first, and I was not sure about the program. I didn't know a lot of information about the program, but he said that a lot of the teachers there in Colombia, they have great experiences, they had great opportunities to teach here. They went back to Colombia, and all those experiences were so meaningful for their like teaching experience over there, that I wanted to give it a try, and that's when I applied. So here I applied with EPI, and I got my position in Falconer Elementary as a Spanish specialist. I was not very sure about it because, as I said before, I used to teach for high school basically over there in Colombia, and it was gonna be definitely a challenge to come here and teach elementary school, which is the younger ones. So here's my adjustment to the American culture. Um, at the very beginning, in the first year, I was using a lot of the EPI support. They were checking on me all the time. They were checking on my friends also who came with me at the same time in the same year. They were making sure that I had all the support at school, that I was understanding what I was doing at school, also that I was adapting myself here to live alone in the States, um, to the American culture itself, the customs, and all the, let's say, traditions here. So they were really, really helpful in that part. You might be confused right now. You might have a lot of questions about where am I going to live, how am I going to go to school, what type of communities I'm going to teach. But my advice right now is do not worry. They care about you, and they will provide every single piece of help that you can need over here. They are going to have your back. They are not going to, let's say, ignore you or just leave you by yourself. They are always going to provide any type of support that you need. So that was my first year. The first year, as we've heard from the previous video, it's a lot of challenges because you are in a new culture, you don't know anyone. That's why I get to my second point. Create your own support network. You are gonna come here with a lot of other teachers from other countries. They are gonna be close to you. Some others are not gonna be close to you, but you are always going to have that connection with them. You are in the same situation. They are going to understand your situation. They are gonna understand that sometimes you feel homesick. They are gonna understand that you miss the food, that you miss your family. So that is always going to be your network. They are going to listen to your problems, and they are gonna relate to your problems. That's my second tip over there. And my third tip is don't be afraid to ask questions. You are here in this country, you don't know a lot of the education system here. Um, so don't be afraid to reach out to your colleagues. Don't be afraid to reach out to EPI. If you do not understand something, just ask. Ask your friends, ask your coworkers, ask EPI. Uh, they understand that you are new in this job, you are new in the country, you are new in this cultural experience, and they are gonna do or they are gonna make sure that you are doing your best here. Yeah, that's basically my experience. Also, I have had the opportunities, not always work. I have had the opportunity to visit a lot of the cities that I've seen from movies, from series. Um, EPI make sure that you are going to have a fair salary like any other teacher here in the United States, and that is going to be more than enough for you to have all the things that you would like to purchase for yourself, all the trips that you've been dreaming of. Um, so you are gonna have the time and the money to make those dreams come true. This is my information right here. This is my email in case that you would like to email me and ask me any question. Um, you will be more than welcome to answer those questions if it is possible. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for taking the time to join us tonight and for sharing with us. Hearing about your experiences in the classroom and in the US is so valuable for teachers who were just starting to prepare for their own journey. So again, thank you. So we're going to keep the conversation going and we're going to take a few minutes to answer a few of your questions. If you haven't yet, please feel free to type any questions that you have into the chat. I'm going to check real quick to see if we have anything that has already been coming in. Okay, so there is one question about medical insurance costs. So Carrie, I'm going to throw this one out to you. Daniela asked if EPI covers the medical insurance cost.
Hey, Al, Shelly, I'm gonna pass this over Tara.
Okay.
Sir.
No, that's okay. So to answer your question about health insurance, what EPI does is we enroll teachers in their insurance upon their first arrival here in the US, and teachers are billed for a small portion of their overall insurance premium. That payment is deducted directly from your US checking account that you'll set up when you're here and teaching in the United States. And teachers are responsible for paying that again directly from their bank account. But we select the health insurance company that we operate with to meet very specific requirements under the Exchange Visitor Program regulations. And unfortunately, school districts and their health insurance plans do not meet the threshold of these federal regulations. So EPI ensures that they have researched appropriate options to offer to our teachers.
Excellent. Thank you, Tara. Let's see. I'm also seeing there are some questions regarding requirements and degree. Um, is a bachelor's degree valid if it's not in education? And also the number of years experience as a teacher. So it looks like there's a couple of questions just to clarify the degree and the years of experience. Carrie, do you want to take that one?
So, hi, Julian. So, for this one, we will need to see your diplomas and documents. So, we will encourage you to upload these documents and your diploma to your application so we can review it and let you know if you are eligible to apply for the program or continue with your process.
Excellent. Thank you, Carrie. Okay, and I do see another question. I think this might have to do with some budgeting. Sylvia asked, approximately how much money should I carry while receiving my salary? Tara, do you want to attempt to take this one?
I can. So the minimum that we ask to see in your bank account statements from your home country is, I believe, 2,000 US dollars.
And if you're asking about salary that you would make as a teacher in the United States, it can vary widely, depending on how much experience you have, if you have a master's degree and where you're located at regionally. But just for an example, the average North Carolina teacher makes $58,000 a year.
And a question from Lady. Am I eligible to apply if I teach English full-time at a languages institute rather than um, at a public school?
Okay. So, hi, lady. So, one of the requirements for you to be eligible to apply is that you will need to be teaching in a K to 12 setting full time, and the subject that you are currently teaching needs to be related to your bachelor's degree.
I think we have time for a couple of more questions. So please feel free to type it into the chat. I do see another. Despite having several years of experience as a teacher, what is the level of English required to enter the program?
You will need advanced English proficiency. So you will need to be able to communicate here in the US and of course like understand, have a really good level of English to be able to apply.
I think we're going to do, okay, we have another question. I think this will be the last question. How much time in advance do I need to fill the application to start the process? And that is if they want to join the program for the 2026-2027 school year.
So for this one, so we are in the admissions season right now. So we recommend you to complete your application by the end of December or January, so you'll be able to maybe start with principal interviews by January. So you can start your application at any time of the year, but interview season and placement season starts in January.
Thank you, Tara and Carrie. I am going to pass it back over to Jessica.
Yes, and I think I'm back. I am sorry for, my moment of freezing.
It happens.
Yes. Hopefully I can stick it out through the rest of the presentation. We are coming to the end of the presentation today. We do have one last video we wanted to show you about the impact of cultural exchange and what that has on its community. And so here is what our teachers have to say about their time in the United States.
I came here without knowing anything, just all the confidence that EPI provided to me.
I am very grateful and thankful for EPI support. We know that they are there, and that's a very reassuring feeling.
It is so important for us to learn about other people and their culture.
Cultural exchange is a way to showcase your own richness and vastness culture, at the same time get more knowledge from your students.
That makes you grow as a teacher and as a person. I think that every teacher that has the chance needs to take this chance because it's pure growth.
Teaching with EPI, for me, was the best opportunity.
Every time that you think you have a challenge, EPI comes with something to help you.
I would like everybody to consider seriously joining EPI because it opened doors to all these new experiences to me that are really rewarding.
Okay, and with that, that is the end of our presentation. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any other questions about continuing your application, please don't hesitate to email us at team@teachwithepi.com, and one of our great admissions specialists, such as Carrie, will assist you with your application. Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a good evening.